Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Lindsey Simsick. This is a solo episode, a solo dolo with one of your girls. We do solos every single month on topics that are just kind of cooking in our hearts. Oftentimes they're inspired by all of you out there listening. We talk to you in our DMs and in person, and we get really inspired to bring certain conversations to the show that we feel would be best had in this format. So where we can go really deep, really honest. And today I wanted to talk about dating done differently, baby. I was single for 7 years. This might be old news to a lot of you out there who's like, yeah, I know. But it was a long time. And during that time, I really had an opportunity to shift the way that I was approaching dating. And with summer coming up, I really feel like the summer vibe gives us this little permission slip to really rejuvenate some areas in our lives that might be a little lifeless, a little autopilot-y, and a bit unintentional. So I want to make this the summer that those of you who are dating, you are going to do dating differently. It is going to feel different. It is going to be a more fun and fulfilling experience. It is going to be an experience where you can really remain in your truth and in your body. And you can really receive the gifts in the moment that dating offers. I know so many of my friends who are now dating. A lot of the conversations that we have are candidly around how tough dating is and how exhausting it is, another date and not my person. And I totally get it. I have been there. And I do believe that we are missing out on some really beautiful opportunities when it comes to meeting another person who is also willing to meet another person, other opportunities to meet ourselves, to know ourselves better, and to get closer to meeting the person that hopefully we're going to develop a deep, long-term, if that's what you desire, relationship with. So I want to talk about dating done differently in this episode. It was inspired by all of you who I talked to in the DMs and in the Sacredness of Being Single program. I just added a new module to the Sacredness of Being Single program. So if you're already in there, you have access to this new module. If you are thinking about joining the Sacredness of Being Single, this is a self-study program that I created in the wake of my single season because it was the most powerful, potent season of my life to set the tone for every other season moving forward. And I really believe so wholeheartedly that if we take this season seriously, if we understand the opportunities that it gifts us, that we can have an incredible experience during this season and beyond. So I added this new module because I was getting so many questions about dating. And I wanted to provide a place in the program where you could feel really supported by me, your kind of like dating little guide BFF in your ear. So I created this like beautiful audio series where we talk about things like intention. We talk about revisiting the list that you've created. I know we all have our list somewhere. It's in that notebook, in that drawer. How to know when your heart is open and ready. We talk about the energetics of the apps. I share daily practices to call in a partner. I give you a pre-date grounding, which I think is so important. I talk about the pre-date pep talk. Well, I give you a pre-date pep talk. And it's really fun because we all kind of need that little boost of confidence and energy and perspective right before we step into something that's a little bit scary, maybe outside of our comfort zone, and more in this module. So all that to say, it's there for you if you are being called. Check out Sacredness of Being Single. We meet once a month for 90 minutes in our Sacredness Circle. It is a special, special time. This really helps the work to integrate, and being in community during this season, y'all, there's truly nothing better. So I'm here for questions. If you have any, just DM me at Lindsey Simsick, but let's get into it.
At Almost 30, we like to share things that we're using, things that we're taking, especially if they're plant forward and plant focused. And if they're for the sober curious, it's even better. So I'm so excited to share with you Botanic Tonics. Botanic Tonics offers a wide range of plant-based supplements and tonics to promote a positive state of mind and wellness. So picture this. You're needing to feel a little creative. You're wanting to feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more focused. You want a little mood boost. Maybe you're hanging out with your friends on a Saturday evening, afternoon, and you're like, we don't want to drink, but we want to get loosey-goosey and have fun. Or maybe it's a Wednesday and you're wanting to get creative and out of your normal comfort zone of creation and time with work or whatever it is that you're dreaming up. You're going to want to take Botanic Tonics. It is my favorite thing to do, especially with friends on the weekends, to drink one of their kava-based drinks as an alcohol alternative, which gives this amazing clean energy boost and really helps enhance any productivity, any focus, any energy, any mood and well-being. It is so delicious. I love that it's plant-based. I love that it's like a medicinal plant drink. And so many people are doing this now instead of drinking because it gives you that amazing energy boost with no hangover and has been tried and true, tested over time. So Feel Free is incredible. It's their tonic, their main offering from Botanic Tonics. It's scientifically crafted to deliver energy, focus, mood enhancement. It contains kava, kola nut, lion's mane, and rhodiola. Feel Free is really great as an alcohol alternative, like I said, but you can use it anytime during the week. Highly recommend exploring and trying it, maybe with friends or maybe with your partner or roommate. It is the best, and I love that it's a plant-based supplement that really promotes this beautiful, positive mind and feeling. So highly suggest getting $40 off your first purchase at Botanic Tonics. Go to botanictonics.com and use code ALMOST30 for $40 off your first purchase. That's almost 30 for $40 off your first purchase of botanictonics.com. That's BOTANICTONICS. That's botanictonics.com and use code almost 30 for $40 off your first purchase, and use Botanic Tonics to enhance your creativity, boost your mood, and feel fancy free. Symbiotica is such an amazing company that believes that food is the best medicine, but sometimes modern diets leave us lacking in vital nutrients. And that's where Symbiotica comes in. So their story really began with the need to fill nutritional gaps and provide our bodies with everything vital for optimal health. They really looked at the alarming lack of transparency in the supplement industry, with products full of fillers, toxins, and synthetic ingredients, and really took it in their own hands after tons of research to create really amazing supplements. Some of my favorite ingredients from Symbiotica are things like their shilajit, which is a plant-based mineral resin that contains over 84 different essential minerals and fulvic acid, which offers numerous health benefits. It's a real super antioxidant that helps with memory, immunity. It's anti-inflammatory and helps with your energy as well. I also really love their metabolic health supplement and their inflammatory health supplement as well. These are two things I've taken regularly that have really helped me support my body composition, feeling better in my body, feeling less inflamed. I also mentioned that I'm taking creatine because I've been lifting regularly, which has been really, really helpful. And creatine is one of the most researched supplements in the world. It helps with your athletic performance, your strength, and your recovery time. So for all my girlies that are now lifting or even doing Pilates regularly, you can get so much more out of your workout when you take creatine regularly because it helps you get a better workout and then also helps you recover so much better. I've noticed my booty's been a little bigger. It's just been such an amazing thing. So all of the amazing products from Symbiotica are so good for you. You can't go wrong with any of them. I've tried them all. So go to symbiotica.com, check out everything that they have, see what's going to be best fit for you, and use code ALMOST30 for 15% off. Use code ALMOST30 for 15% off at symbiotica.com. Check out the shilajit, check out the creatine, check out the metabolic health and inflammatory health, or anything else they have. And you can also use code ALMOST30 for 15% off and an extra 30% off when you bundle their products for a subscription. So I love to set up my subscription for all of my amazing goodies and get 45% off when I use the Almost 30 code. If you've already used the Almost 30 code because it's for first-time buyers, you can set up another account under another email, just saying, I want you guys to get hooked up and I want you guys to get that discount. So Symbiotica, CYMBIOTIKA.com, use code ALMOST30 for 15% off and Almost 30 for 45% off when you bundle and save.
I wanted to bring in some elements of this new module for you. So first I want to talk about intention. So oftentimes when we step out into the dating world where we're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to go out on dates. Who's going to ask me out, or who should I ask out, or who should I swipe right and who should I swipe left? Oftentimes we are stepping into that realm without an intention, and quickly we are swept up by our emotions. We are swept up by our expectations not being met, swept up by the technological aspect of dating that is so prominent now. We are swept up by everything outside of ourselves, rather than being grounded and anchored within our center by a clear intention. So what does this look like? What does this look like? Really great question. So an intention can be as simple as saying out loud or in your heart or writing down how you want to feel, how you want to be in this moment that you are approaching. So say it's before a date. My intention on this date is to feel centered, calm, and confident. My intention is to be a great listener and to not anticipate what I'm going to say, but rather be so in the moment that I let the conversation flow. My intention is to drop my expectations and be surprised and allow myself to be surprised. So you kind of get the feel, right? Intention really centers around how you will be and how you want to feel as you approach an experience. Why is it so important? And we've talked about intention on the show, so I know I am not giving you like new information, but in the context of dating, we forget. So I am going to remind you. Why is it so important? Your intention will clear the distortions in your dating field. And y'all, we got to keep it real clear. Got to keep it real clear, or you're going to start to attract some wonky ass shit. That is the truth. So your intention clears your field and creates your experience, which is kind of a powerful thing to say. This creates my experience. Yeah, this is going to create your reality on the date. Why is that so? So when we decide through intention how we want to be and how we want to feel going into an experience, all of a sudden, energetically within us, we reorient. So perhaps our anxieties take a back seat, our preconceived notions of how this date should go or how this person might be dissolve a little bit. And things have to reorganize themselves within you and outside of you because you've made that shift. It is that powerful. I see it literally every day in my life. When I set intention, I have a completely different experience. When I don't set an intention, I am swept up by the madness. I am swept up by my anxiety. I am easily impressionable by the outside forces of people, of their emotions, of sounds, of craziness. So doing this really sets you up to have a very solid, centered experience. Now, I didn't say that this would set you up to 100% show up and meet the person you're going to be with for the rest of your life, right? But I am more concerned about your experience here, because the more that we can be centered and anchored and in our body, the more we can be present. And the more that we can be present, the likelihood of us seeing and receiving the gifts and opportunities of the moment increase by 1,000,000. Don't quote me on 1,000,000. We don't know the actual research, but I am a living testament of the power of intention, especially in dating. So I put this to practice way at the end of my single season, way too late, but hey, better late than never. But I started to set intentions before dates. I started to set intentions before I would hop on the apps. I started to set intentions before I would text someone who I was like, you know what, I like this person. I want to tell them that. I want to reach out to them. I want to say how much fun I had on the date. I would set intentions. So check yourself. Are you someone who is really putting yourself at the mercy of this whole dating realm? Just take me. I just hope I find someone, really not taking control and responsibility for what you are bringing to this experience. And I believe that intention is really taking responsibility for your experience. So if nothing else, think of it like that. With my intention, I'm going to take responsibility for my experience. So that's a big one. I think that is one that if you do nothing else to shift or change how you are approaching dating, add an intention at any and every part of this experience and process. Experiment with it. See how it goes and let me know.
A product that I've been using and loving is one I need to tell you about, and it is from JS Health. That's JS Health Vitamins. And Jessica, the founder, is a friend of mine. We've actually known her for years. I think like 4 years now. We did an event with her in Sydney when we were on tour. And I've seen her journey as a founder and clinical nutritionist, someone that really lived and died by the scale, and someone that has found food freedom, body freedom, and someone that really is passionate about providing solution-focused vitamins targeted to people's personal health goals using the highest quality ingredients backed by research. So Jessica's actually the researcher. She's the one that does the formulas, and she's obsessed with quality. The doses of JS Health vitamins are therapeutic. So they are not just willy-nilly. They're not just any old dose. They are therapeutics. You can actually feel and see the effects. And one of my favorite things about the brand is that all of the supplements that they have are shared by goals. So basically, when you go to their site, if you see the vitamins like skin and digestion or detox and debloat or metabolism and sugar support or thyroid plus, these are all regulated by the Australian government, and it is so much more strict than in the United States. So when they talk about having thyroid plus or detox and debloat or hair and energy, they actually have to do what they say on the label. So they can't just be saying detox and debloat and not actually have the research behind it. Everything they have is so high quality. Their magnesium is what I take every single day before bed. I'll take 2. It's helped me sleep better. It's helped me be more regular. It's helped my mood. It's helped my anxiety. Magnesium is such a powerful, powerful supplement, and JS Health is the best. I also really love their Thyroid Plus formula, which really helps your thyroid gland function and healthy thyroid hormones, plus supports your metabolic rate and body metabolism. So I got my blood tested recently, and I think almost every one of my friends has had thyroid issues regularly. So the iodine from the kelp, their really high quality kelp in their supplement, has supported a healthy thyroid function for me in a way where I don't need a prescription. and it's been incredible. So I really highly recommend any of JS Health's vitamins. I also really love their protein. Their cinnamon roll protein is my favorite protein of all time. I have it in oatmeal. Their magnesium, their hair and energy, their detox and debloat, anything from them is so high quality. So you can go to their website at jshealthvitamins.com. You can look at their goals and see which way you can support yourself in feeling and looking your best. I'm proud to be working with Jessica. I love her as a friend and really just back any female-founded company that's supporting people all over the world looking and feeling their best. So use code ALMOST30 for 15% off any of her vitamins and supplements. Use code ALMOST30 for 15% off at jshealthvitamins.com. ALMOST30 for 15% off jshealthvitamins.com. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. You can get 20% off every IQ Bar product plus free shipping when you text ALMOST to 64,000. So that's ALMOST to 64,000 for 20% off every single IQ Bar product plus free shipping. I love IQ Bar because it is optimized not only for your brain and body, it has really important brain nutrients, plant protein, and fiber with next to no sugar or net carbs. It's super clean label and delicious. It's also keto, vegan, paleo, and gluten, soy, and GMO free. It's the bar that all of my friends use and love. Whenever I've had it at my house and I've had friends over, they're like, oh yeah, IQ Bar. That's the bars I have at my house too. And it's really the most delicious bars that don't leave me hungry. Sometimes after I'll eat bars, I won't feel satisfied and I'll actually want to eat like 12 more. IQ bars are the ones that leave me satisfied and satiated, but yet really support my energy levels. I don't feel that like really sugar craving feeling because their bars are so clean. I actually love their fruit lovers bundle. So I really love the lemon blueberry, the banana nut. You can't go wrong with the chocolate lovers bundle because who doesn't love an almond butter chip or a peanut butter chip? But surprisingly, their fruit lovers bundle is where it's at. I swear the banana nut, me and Lindsey are obsessed with. We have it all the time in the morning when we're on the go, as a snack, sometimes as dessert. IQ Bar is such a quality bar that has brain nutrients, plant-based protein, 1 gram of sugar, and only 3 net carbs. It is such an amazing add to your diet at any time. So you can get 20% off every single IQ Bar product, whether that's their bars or mixes or merch, and free shipping by texting ALMOST to 64,000. So text ALMOST to 64,000 for 20% off and free shipping any of their amazing delicious bars, their hydration supplements, or merch today. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Okay. Now I want to talk about a fun one, revisiting your list. Okay, I have had lists that include physical characteristics only. Anybody else, like pretty much, right? Like I want him to be above 6'2". I would love for his body type to be athletic, but not too chiseled. And I would love facial hair. And I would love his calves to be 13 inches around. I don't know, whatever. But we're really focused on the physical attraction that I thought I desired, or that I thought would really create a connection or the fireworks that I wanted. And what I was missing was the subtle energy that I wanted to feel in a relationship, the moments, the personality types, the quality of their personality, the values that they held. Because what I know now in relationship, I am married. I've been married, I think it'll be, by the time this comes out, I think it's like 9 months, which is wild. Not a long time, but you get the gist. So what I know now is that the ever-growing connection and attraction to your partner is not going to be fed solely by their physical attributes. we know the saying, like, the looks fade, but the something lasts forever. I actually don't I don't know what that one is. I got half of it. But what is really important is the way that this person makes you feel, is the quality of your connection through your soul, through your hearts, not just in what you see and what turns you on physically. What I realized is that these qualities that I love so much in my husband, parts of his personality, his values, how he makes me feel, how I make him feel, the frequency of our connection is really what turns me on many different levels, and really what makes me feel secure and safe and peaceful and held and loved. So I want us to just be really honest as we reapproach our list. This is really, really important. You got to be honest with yourself. And we don't want to shame ourselves for focusing on some of the physical stuff. That's okay. I am not here to say, don't specify, the body type or the height. If that is important to you, fine. But what I want you to also really think about and be truthful about and articulate specifically are the things that you cannot see, are the subtle energies between you. So, how are we going to do that? First of all, we are not going to make a list. It is no longer going to be a list. I am going to invite you to do this exercise. I actually found mine the other day in my little bedside table. I was like, oh my God, this notebook goes way back. Right before I reconnected with Sean. It was about 2 months before, and I was on a solo trip. I actually read some of this out loud in the Sacredness of Being Single program in the new module, Dating Done Differently. So you can check that out there. But basically what I did was I had a journal entry that I wrote on this solo trip, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I was so emotional on this trip in the best way. I was just so deeply in love with who I had become. I was so proud of myself for all the healing that I had done. I was just kind of in awe of my life. And I was also really emotional because I felt like he was close. I just felt, I can't describe it any other way, but it made me emotional because I was like, wow, he's right here, and so I took pen to paper. I put the word him with a heart at the top of the page. And I started to write basically just this beautiful stream of consciousness description of my future partner. And again, this is in the program. I read basically all of it out loud, but I really focus on how he makes me feel. For example, he woke me up this morning and I got up to open the curtains, but he pulled me back to bed and was tickling me, and we were laughing, and we ended up just kind of laughing and talking about life for the next 30 minutes. I lost track of time, and then he told me to stay in bed while he grabbed us our coffee. And while he was out there, he put on some music and then came back into the room doing this hilarious dance in his underwear. And I just love seeing him in his underwear because his butt is so nice, something like that. I went ham on this description. It was so specific, so detailed. And I have to say, 95% of what I described, I am married to. I actually read it to Sean the other night, and I like got emotional when I was reading it because I was just realizing as I was reading it, as I was looking at him, I'm like, I cannot believe that like you are what I am describing. Like it is just, it was so powerful. So I want to offer this exercise for you because I believe that when we engage our imagination, it is one of the most powerful tools of manifestation. Our imagination is not just for daydreaming and thinking of weird things that'll never happen. Our imagination is so powerful and so clear at times because we can create worlds, because we can vision into the future. And so I want us to really lean into that part of us that can, quote, daydream and describe this person. How do they make you feel? Where are you? Where are you waking up? What is the quality of their voice? What things do they do for you that just make you feel so loved? What is your communication style? What do you appreciate about the way that you have disagreements? What are some really special traditions that you both have created within your relationship that you look forward to? Literally anything and everything. So this should be a stream of consciousness, not a written list for you to check off. This is a declaration. This is present tense. And I want you to notice how you feel when you're writing it. I want you to notice how you feel after you write it. Writing in the present tense and really leaning into this world that you are envisioning, this relationship that you are desiring, starts to activate like literally your entire body, your physical body. You might feel a little like, ooh, opening in your heart. You might get chills. It's going to activate your emotional body. You might start to cry. It's going to activate your energetic body. You might feel just this like burst of energy and excitement. It's going to activate all parts of you. And this is what is necessary in order to get to the frequency of meeting your partner. That's the secret sauce. So the more that you can be in that frequency, the better. I will add this little bonus practice that I used to do in addition to creating this beautiful stream of consciousness description of your future relationship. You can pretend that you are waking up with them and going to sleep with them at night. So I would imagine that my partner was next to me in bed, and I would imagine what we were talking about. I would talk about it out loud. I would imagine like how he would be holding me. I would imagine just like what we would be wearing and like what time we would eventually go to bed, and would he be reading and I'm reading, like the whole thing. And I would do it a lot. And again, it would get me into the frequency of like, I'm in a relationship that I love. I'm in a relationship that I have always desired. And my body was like really believing this. And my mind was like, okay, like let's believe this, eventually. So it's such a powerful practice. So I offer that to you instead of the list, instead of using the list as this very narrow lens through which you are dating in the world. We have to open up the aperture by opening up our heart. And through these exercises, you are going to be able to feel more into what this relationship is going to be, rather than having these markers of what they look like and maybe what they do as a profession, etc. Because you're going to miss some incredible opportunities and people who are going to cross your path along the way that are going to either be that person or guide you closer to that person through the growth and potential lessons and insights you will glean from being present with this person. Got me? Okay, cool. So we're clear. We're revisiting our list and actually like nixing the whole list in general because we are going to get more specific and dreamy and in our bodies and in our emotional bodies and really focus on how we want to feel.
If you are feeling like you need a 5-star, beautiful, magnetic, special, spiritual vacation, retreat, healing experience full of pleasure and joy and expression and amazing humans in Ibiza, then I'm your girl. I'm hosting a retreat this October from the 4th through the 8th at the beautiful 5-star Six Senses, and I wanted to invite you to join me. So I have limited spaces available, but this retreat is going to be the most beautiful, special experience. If you know me, I like to travel and I travel really, really well. I'm all about beauty. I'm all about nourishment. I'm all about just glorious aesthetics, deep healing, and authenticity. So when you come to my retreat, it's none of the fake words, phrases, things. It's very real. It's very authentic. It's very joyful. And it's just very, very deep, just as I am. So we'll be eating really glorious, nourishing food that's going to be delicious, that suits any diet. We're going to be spending a lot of time outside in nature, both in the ocean and then in other elements and in the sun. We're going to be working through archetypes. So I study a lot with archetypes from a Jungian perspective. We're going to be working with internal family systems, parts work, which is something I'm certified in and passionate about. We're going to be doing a lot of energy work and energy training, which is something I'm also certified in. And importantly, we're also going to be doing a lot of empath work. A lot of the people that I work with and support are deep feelers. They are very sensitive beings that need support stepping into their power and purpose. I know that for me, when I was an unconscious empath, I was not in my power. I gave my power away to everyone else, and I couldn't really see clearly in front of me because I was so concerned with others. Also known as codependency, but that's another conversation. So we're going to be working with empath work a lot because I know so many people joining are going to be super sensitive. So I would love to invite you to join and submit an inquiry for this amazing magical retreat. And if you're interested, you can go to itskrista.com. So it's itskrista.com and find more information. It's itskrista.com to find more information. itskrista.com. Itskrista.com for more information on the magical Ibiza retreat happening this October at Six Senses.
Okay, so those are two aspects of this whole dating done differently that I really wanted to bring to you and hammer home to you. Because I think these two practices and these two shifts in perspective can really make quite the difference. The final thing I want to talk about is the energetics of the apps. So I was using the apps when I was dating, and I have the jury's out for me on apps. I'll say this. How we approach the apps is everything. Do I think apps are a good thing for dating in general? I don't know. Do I think they're a bad thing? I don't know. I have many friends who would prove both, right, out there. I didn't end up meeting my person on the apps, but I met amazing people using the apps. So I want us to be open to the possibility that the apps are a tool. The apps are not wielding the power here in your dating experience, and that we can create a healthier relationship with this technology in order to leverage their potential opportunity within our dating experience. So what I would recommend first is to limit your time on the apps. While I know a lot of people say that dating is a numbers game, and I won't disagree, but that's actually not what I want to focus on. at all. Numbers just kind of give me a little anxiety, and I think they take us into our heads rather into our hearts. So I really want to drop us into our hearts. But I want us to create a healthier time relationship with the apps, because what tends to happen, just like social media, is that we find ourselves on these apps for longer than we intend to. There's an addictive quality to swiping, to scrolling, to being given these options on the dating apps and on social media. We're just seeing everyone's life. We're seeing recommendations and product. Like, it's a lot of stimulation that our brain is like, yeah, more. But can we create a boundary or a time limit on which we are engaging with the apps? And this takes discipline. So like, make no mistake, it's going to be a second before you really get this. But what I started to do was designate a certain block of time or a couple blocks of time during the week when I would get on the apps to swipe and to engage in conversation, and hopefully like maybe set up some IRL dates. I think that 30 minutes is a really realistic time period. It's enough to which you can do your thing, but not so much that you're teetering on that like serious drainage by being on technology too long. I would give yourself 2 30-minute blocks in a week. I think that's pretty realistic. So maybe it's on a Sunday and a Thursday. I don't know, whatever you want to do, designate a block of time to where you are engaging on the apps. If you have to set a timer, do it. Do whatever you have to do to stick to this. And then when you are not on the apps, I really want you to double down on what's happening in your real life. And I want you to practice presence in a way that you've never practiced presence before. So when you are walking on the street, when you're going into a store, when you are out to dinner with friends or family or what have you, you are able to remind yourself that you are in a body, that you are here in the present moment, and that there are gifts for you here, and that there are opportunities for you to grow or know yourself better here. And I know that's a lot, right? But we're going to get into the habit of when we're not on the apps, we are going to be so totally present in our real life, right? So what that could look like, you might be at dinner with friends, 10 people at a table, buzzing restaurant, and you just place your palms on your thighs and you just kind of feel your skin to skin or skin to your clothing. You feel your feet on the floor. You take just a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, you just observe what's happening around you. You take it in. Who's here? How it makes you feel. Looking at the food, the ambiance, the beauty of the restaurant, the beauty of the people around you, how amazing you feel. Just really taking it in over 3 to 5 deep breaths. There's nothing that needs to be said or explained to anyone about what you are doing, but this is a moment for you to honor where you are. I think when we are on the apps, we're so intent upon focusing on the future. So we're thinking about, well, is this person going to be a good partner? Like, are they going to be a great husband or wife? Or literally our mind goes there, and you know it. So don't deny it. I don't mind it. So when we are not on the apps, can we be as present as possible? So use that little exercise just to take in what is and just be like, wow, okay, here I am. And when you do that, I guarantee that there will be a moment or maybe a couple moments or opportunities where you'll realize that someone is in your midst, someone that could be interested in you or you interested in them, or maybe you're intrigued by someone. But if you were thinking so much about something else or future tripping, or just in your head, you're going to miss it. So get ready to be surprised what presence can bring you. Presence will bring you the people that you don't expect to be just guides and I wouldn't say stepping stones because that means you're stepping on them, but really guiding you to either the next level, maybe closer to your person, maybe to know yourself better. This is what I want to cultivate because it translates into any relationship that you have, this power of presence. Okay? So, talked about time limits when it comes to the apps. We talked about really doubling down on when you're off the apps, like not engaging on the apps, to be super present in your life. Now, the apps as a tool, right? So I want you to think of the apps as almost like this, like radio antenna. And we have the ability through our intention, through how we show up to these apps, to tune the radio signal to a station that is connected to potentially someone or people who are more aligned for you in a romantic relationship sense. So if we kind of think about it like that, how do we tune to that specific channel? Well, we can use intention for sure before we use the apps, even before you sign up for it, setting the intention. Before you start to swipe on it, setting the intention. Before you hop on every time, setting the intention. Then there's like the bio area, right? Where we have our name. I don't even know what they have these days. Like our favorite cheese. I have no idea, but there's a lot to fill out as far as how to describe ourselves. And it's hard. I've never felt complete when I do any of that like short form bio stuff. But what I do know is that when you are yourself, you are going to attune yourself to the frequency of the one who could potentially be looking for you, who could potentially be desiring a relationship with someone like you, and vice versa. So if you find yourself filling out the bio and being like, well, I think someone would think this was cute or hot or sexy or intriguing or smart or anything like that, I want us to take a deep breath, take a step back, and evaluate the intention with that. So in that instance, we are trying to morph into someone, be seen as someone, be received as someone who we perceive another person would like, when really the most powerful way that we can show up to these apps is to be ourself. So give it a try, give it a whirl, give it an edit on that bio. And I really want more of you in that bio and description. Same goes for when you engage in the direct messaging feature in these apps. I really want you to be yourself. I want you to drop the games. And I want you to be honest. There's a lot of opportunity in these conversations in the apps to be honest. And oftentimes we don't take it because we're afraid of what the other person will think, but you really have nothing to lose and everything to gain, because if you're honest, you are going to create a natural, powerful filter around this experience. If this person does not want to engage after you being honest about something, then while it might be disappointing in the moment, it's going to be a huge relief, because thank you. Thank you for clearing the way. Thank you for not wasting my time. Thank you. And thank you for just like reminding me how powerful it is to be myself and to be honest. So I want us to be honest. I want us to be ourselves, because these apps are tools, and what we bring to them, how we be within them, is really how well the tool works for us. Because they are tools, we don't want to be using them as a shield. So these are very quick, temporary, in-between tools. We don't want them to be the mode in which we satisfy the feeling of dating. So put more simply, a lot of people will just be on the apps and have a lot of conversations and talk a lot of game and never actually meet people. They just want to throw numbers up on the board, to be completely blunt. And also, I have a feeling that there might be some reservations around and nervousness and anxiety around actually dating and putting themselves out there, which is very courageous. So I'm not surprised, but we don't want to use it as this shield and this mask between us and the real life experience with another person. So please remember that. Please. And you can practice by either initiating or saying yes when people ask you out. Obviously, it has to feel good. You'll feel it in your body. You'll be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Doesn't guarantee it's going to be the most amazing date or the person you're going to spend your life with. But I want us to really lean in and out of the world that's created within the app and the safety that's quote, the safety or the comfort that's created within a textual conversation, rather than meeting someone, taking in their energy, or getting to know their energy in real life, hearing their voice, picking up on just the nuance and the subtle energies between you. That, my friends, is the real juice. Apps are just the tool to potentially get there. Okay? So, jury's out on whether the apps are a good thing or a bad thing for dating these days, but I think it's inevitable, and it just is what it is. You don't have to be on the apps, but if you are, own it. Use it for the tool that it is, and take responsibility for how you show up and what you infuse into this experience with the apps. Dating done differently. How do we feel? Okay, so intention. We're going to revisit our list. We have some practices that are going to shift literally our DNA when it comes to dating. And we are going to be very mindful and thoughtful about the energetics around the apps and how we can really take that into our own hands. Amazing. For more on Dating Done Differently, you can join the Sacredness of Being Single at sacrednessofbeingsingle.com. This is the newest module I'm so excited about. And if you have any questions, please DM me at Lindsey Simsick on Instagram. I am thrilled. I am thrilled that we are all waking up to how we want to feel within relationship. And we are starting now well before being in that relationship. So I'm proud of you. I know how daunting, how exhausting this process can be, but it doesn't have to be. And we can really reclaim our power and our energy when it comes to dating. And you could be more of yourself. You can be more joyful in this process. It is your right. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Almost 30. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. And if there are any other topics that you want us to discuss, please let us know. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you really, really soon.